Hi Gemini, welcome back to this reading. We'll go ahead and get into your reading for Gemini. Let's see. What do you need, Gemini? People and placements to know about their situation at this time. You could be blocking somebody or fighting for something. Gemini, taking a defensive approach perhaps. Gemini, people and placements. You could be realizing the impact this person had on your self-esteem, maybe making a decision, deciding to move towards something at a fast speed or change something about your real estate situation, perhaps. Messages for Gemini. You could be kind of surrendering to this decision that needs to be made, deciding to actually put the pieces in place, finally letting go of something. Gemini, messages for Gemini, people and placements. You could be dealing with somebody with Aries placements, or maybe you're a masculine figure putting in these boundaries, rejecting something that's not serving you. Let's see what's coming up for your future. You could have, well, of course, you could have air placements, but what's coming up for Gemini's future? Tell us about Gemini's future, please. Okay, personal contentment and happiness, especially after rejecting something or establishing boundaries in some regard. Letting go of something finally. Messages for Gemini. Finally nourishing yourself, attracting all that you desire, balancing all the elements within yourself, sitting pretty and allowing everything to come to you, attracting, not chasing. Maybe you exited a long-term, like, committed situation, and you did it in such a way that there was no fighting, or there's a way to exit this without fighting, which is really beneficial and awesome. Actually, I love to see it. So yeah, there is ability to manifest success here, most definitely. Very positive. Very positive. Let's see. Any messages in here for Gemini, people and placements? Gemini, people and placements. Gemini. The nectar, interesting. Gemini, people and placements. Gemini, people and placements. There could be a need to ground yourself at this time, especially as you're getting rid of things, staying happy, positive, joyful, listening to comedies maybe or something. Let's see. Messages for Gemini, people and placements. What do we need Geminis who are watching to know? Unsettled times, need to plan ahead. I think it's going to work itself out. Gemini, maybe like you need to find out, maybe you need to plan about how you're going to actually assert yourself and reject something. Messages for Gemini, people and placements that are watching. You need them to know. Too much concern with sexual matters. Gemini. Something could be very fruitful here. I was just going to say, though, there could be a victory over a loss or ending of something. Maybe you're not sure about how to move through this ending, but I think you're going to end up being victorious in this regard, especially if you have maybe a way of tapping into your sexuality or some endeavor regarding that. Rabbits could be significant. Okay. Gemini, people and placements, what messages? Okay, somebody here could be pretty egotistical, and that's what the challenge is, to actually let go of your ego and move through this in the best way that you possibly can, hopefully without depression or anxiety and paranoia. Maybe you're feeling this because you feel like you're in an in-between stage. You're not quite where you want to be yet. Gemini, messages for Gemini. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, but I just smell something burning. Give me a moment. I don't know what it was, but maybe you need to watch tempers in this situation. But it looks like things will not always be this way. Change is coming. So that is fantastic. I think we already looked in your future and it looked pretty great. Let's see some help for Gemini. Messages of advice for Gemini. Gemini's advice, please. Gemini, people and placements. What is their advice for those watching with Gemini? Okay, organize for success. Okay, no more complaining, successful funding on the bottom, and then optimism and positivity on the top, and decluttering. So I think you need to clear away something. We're still in that waning crescent moon phase before the new moon on this Friday. So we're still in a process of getting rid of the old before we initiate a new beginning on Friday. Let's see, best advice for Gemini. Best advice for Gemini, people and placements. It's time to step out of your comfort zone, take up space, and reach new heights. Okay. Could be putting an end to a long-term marriage, maybe entering a different relationship with a friend, perhaps. 37, let's see. This person could have Libra placements. Maximizing, capitalizing on unexpected talents and confidence. And this might lead you to more wealth as well. Dealing with a Taurus as well. You can see there's a barn. It's a beautiful picture. Let's see. You're being invited to determine whether or not you need to dream bigger, reach higher, and expand fully into your gifts. Are your talents being utilized? Are you taking up space and allowing your light to shine? Are you reaching for big enough goals or playing it safe? If you're reading this now, it's likely you have not made the best use of your talents and have been playing it safe for fear of failure or because you don't believe you are good, wise, or experienced enough. There are many people in the world who are less experienced, less educated, and have less money and far less talent, but are living big, fulfilling lives because they have given themselves permission to occupy as much space as possible. And I do want you to know, Geminis are ruled by Mercury, which is a very fast moving planet. So if you feel anxiety, it's totally normal. Just let it go. It's a part of your zodiac sign, right? Just keep pushing through it. They don't wait for others to hand them things. They go out and get them. They don't wait for others to make space for them. They find their own lanes. Don't be afraid to ask for more. Be the first in line or to call your own shots. Straw Bale encourages you to find the courage to live as big as you dare. Could be an impending home situation, real estate situation change, perhaps. Um, it says on the bottom of the deck, although your path is unclear, it is there waiting for your faith to lead you. So let's see, this could be in relation to shared finances as well, opportunities for that. Maybe you might come into inheritances, money from collaborating with other people. Let's see. Great. Okay. A series of choices that will lead you either to freedom, manifested in feelings of joy, success, feeling loved and supported, or choices that lead to feeling stuck, stagnant, confused, or lost. The next choice is always a flip of the coin and will bring you closer or further away to your desired outcome. Just like a corn maze, you don't get a map or chance to plot the way before going in, but you do have a built in guide in the form of your inner self, which knows exactly which way to go, when to turn, and when to head back and start again. Your inner self speaks to you through your beliefs and feelings and is speaking to you now through this card, letting you know you have been going in the wrong direction. If you're inquiring about a future decision, receiving this card is a definitive no. It is not the path to take. Instead, you're being asked to go back and start from the beginning. What are your values and core beliefs? What are you hoping to gain from this situation? And who are you attempting to become? Have your choices supported future versions of yourself in your life? Finally, where have you compromised your life's vision in pursuit of goals and expectations that belong to somebody else? Corn Maze offers a final message. There is more than one way to achieve a goal. The path you are on now is not the way, and there may be another path that is much better suited. To find this path, take time to find out who you truly are now and who you're becoming. Then your inner self will have what it needs to take you from point A to point B. Interesting. Let's see which path you are to take. What do you want Geminis to do? What is the path for Gemini, please? What is the path for Gemini? Please tell us. Concentration, interesting. Saturn in Gemini. Let's go ahead and read that. In a reading, this card suggests a situation full of distractions and unnecessary complications. Only by keeping conscientiously to the essence of the matter will the questioner arrive at a successful conclusion. Because Gemini rules the third house, this card can indicate strain in the questioner's relationship with siblings. Talking one's way into an important job, using much concentrated research to achieve something, long conscientious study, ignoring someone's deliberate distractions. Interesting. Somebody could be distracting, like a new gateway that you want to initiate in real estate, moving out. Especially if they were using you for finances or something like that. And what is a no? What is the no for Gemini? Which area of life is the no? Okay, this could be a foreigner of some sort. Maybe travel at this time is not a good idea. Let's see. When this card is chosen, it indicates an attraction to foreign places and people to the extent that the person concerned could live for some time in another country. It also reveals a strong intuitive ability that gives sudden flashes of inspiration or visions of future events. The enthusiasm card in a reading predicts a drive to continue education or keep up a renewed interest in philosophical, religious, or ethical concepts. The downside of this card is a chance that one is about to let out a home truth that might hurt someone's feelings. Splendid opportunities, contacts from abroad, the prospect of long distance travel, a new philosophy, optimism about a new project. There could be a kind of idealism here in regards to somebody, maybe an over optimism. And I think what they're suggesting that you go towards is being more responsible in something, in some regard. Let's see more what you need to go towards. Tell us more for what Gemini needs to move towards. What is the area of life you want them to focus on, move towards? That would be good for them, please. What do they need to move towards? We have Jupiter and Sagittarius, so that's a bit confusing. Let's go ahead and see. Could be learning about, maybe they want you to expand your mind. Let's see. When this card appears in a reading, it will raise a matter of principle or life philosophy that is particularly related to the question. Planning a grand tour or world trip, being completely immersed in a new philosophy or religion, conversion, the need to persuade others of a philosophy. You could be trying to persuade somebody about a give and take dynamic or something. I'm going to go ahead and back to Saturn in the third. You could be feeling kind of confused about home matters. They want you to focus on home matters. I want to see more about what you don't, what you shouldn't. What's the no for Gemini? What is the no for Gemini? Please explain more about this, what they should not be focusing on. What is the no? What is the area of life they should not be focusing on for Gemini people and placements watching this reading? Flattery. Okay. Venus in Gemini. It indicates to the questioner that a little amenable smooth talk will achieve far more in the current situation than a competitive wrangle. Interesting. A secret love affair, an imagined romance, two lovers at a time, a deceptive courtship, a constant need for company. Interesting. Maybe they're asking you before you move into this, whatever you actually desire, if you desire this at all, that you need to like reflect on, you need to reflect in some regard. Messages for Gemini. Yeah, there could be like a kind of domineering attitude, either for you towards this person or this person towards you, or certain forcefulness here. Last messages for Gemini. Gemini, more clarity on the situation for Gemini people and placements. Clarity, please. For Gemini people and placements, please. Gemini, clarity on the situation for Gemini that you'd like to convey. The thread, interesting, I was on the top. The animal, okay. Any other messages for Gemini? Gemini. Any other clarification? The ring, interesting. Something could have been more sexual or something like that. Maybe you need to take time to actually build a bond with this person if you're looking to build a bond with somebody. Something could have been kind of sexually based at first. Okay. Gemini people and placements. Messages about the situation for Gemini people and placements. Somebody here, yeah, beliefs. Yeah, definitely. So there needs to be a decision or a choice or a change to reflect on the ways that maybe there needs to be a maturing of the mental area of the mind about how we actually understand, how do we communicate our beliefs and thoughts to other people. I think that's the area that they want you to focus on. And then what they don't want you to focus on is like being too passive or too aggressive in a flattery, charming way with somebody who could be very optimistic, somebody who could be joyful. Tell us more for Gemini people and placements. Somebody here could be operating in a fake kind of way. They're not sure. Like Geminis are known to, they adapt, right? Yeah, and definitely Mercury rules your sign. So it's all about communication and how we express ourselves. There could be a new way of doing this, a new way of going forward in this regard. Gemini messages, Gemini, explain. What is the best advice for Gemini? Okay, activating your higher self, maybe revealing any deception, especially if you're scared about anything. Okay. Any last messages about the situation for Gemini? Gemini people and placements. Trust in divine timing. You will get the empowerment and the strength when you need it. You don't need to operate from a place that's going to cause discord with people or anything like that. But let's see. Any other messages for Gemini regarding the situation, Gemini? Tell us about Gemini's situation. Any messages for Gemini? Yeah, somebody could be feeling trapped in some regard. Gemini placements, or be controlling something, trying to control something. That could be actually with the Saturn energy there. Somebody could have a controlling style of communicating. Maybe they know when to say sharp things, or they berate or criticize others. This person could be having health issues, and that's kind of what, or they're worried about something, and that's kind of what makes them act out in these strange ways. Um, Last advice for Gemini, please. Best advice and last advice for Gemini people in placements. There is no tomorrow without the healing of the past, for in stillness you shall find yourself right where you are. Okay. Any other messages for Gemini people in placements? Gemini people in placements. Solstice. We just had our solstice. And ornaments. Let's go ahead and see. Ignited fire within and finding the self or truth. All hail the cunning truth in which it burns deep within the root. Rise above the ashes and claim the gods are awaiting your glory, your name. This could be with the Sagittarius or communicating with this person in a new way. We all experience times when we feel the need to retreat, hide, or lick our wounds. This is especially true after experiencing a betrayal. So somebody here could have hurt you, maybe displacement or a significant life change or a brutal loss. Slipping away into darkness is critical part of healing. It allows time away from other people's often critical eye to break down and purge the emotional weight you're carrying. However, one must be careful about spending too much time in this healing space. You can become lost in the comfort of darkness and forget to come back to the light where others have the joy of basking in your glory. Solstice asks you to permit your inner light to shine, so there could be a call to be more assertive in your relationships, in your belief systems. There could be a higher-minded way of needing to change your foundational sense of self as well. Maybe a bigger picture view of yourself, how you fit into the cosmos at a macro level. You've hidden your beauty for far too long. You might be feeling vulnerable or afraid, but know that there are people out there who want what you have to offer. Having a breakdown isn't a fun process, but building yourself up can be truly liberating and beautiful. It's time to rise out of the ashes. Allow yourself to fly. There's a new gateway opening up with two self-confident people joining together. This person could be inspiring you in some way as well. 25. Let's see, ornaments. Reflection and memories and intent. Okay. So it is, a remembrance of what once was and what will be, a fragile beauty becoming upon that. You could be exiting a situation or going into court about shared finances. Maybe you're trying to find a new way to express your creativity, your self-expression, your joy, what brings you fun. For some, ornaments are more than yearly decorations. They represent tradition, shared memories, and the hope of passing them along to future generations. These fragile little orbs and shapes may only come out once a year, but when they do, they provide a small amount of joy to remember, reflect, and have hope for the future. Take a step back and review your Christmas tree of success. Ornaments guide you to think and reflect on your situation. Is this something you want to continue to put your efforts into? Is this something you wish to see in your life next year or in the next 5 or 10 years? Are you making choices that align with where you imagine yourself to be? Like ornaments, you have to move things in this way or that until everything falls into place. If your situation feels like something you'd like to keep around for years to come, then keep doing what you're doing and trust in the process. If not, it might take time to make some different choices. Interesting. Okay, definitely financiers are a big topic of discussion, I think, in this situation. Let's get you a last piece of advice for Gemini. Gemini's last piece of advice. Life is speeding up, interesting. Gemini, last piece of advice. 35 in the reverse, we'll see what that's about. Are you feeling uneasy or mistrustful of the world? Have you been hiding in a safe spot, afraid to venture out because you're convinced that life and other people will disappoint you? Koala Spirit has appeared to let you know that your faith is misplaced. The present safety you seek is already passing away because all things are temporary and outer conditions are always changing. Find your safety by placing your faith and trust in Spirit, who will grow the abundance that is already yours. Perhaps you are acting slowly and overly cautiously because you lack faith that there is more for you out there than what you know. You may have boxed yourself into a safe place that has nothing else to give you and become so familiar with it that you have forgotten to explore. Are you feeling pessimistic and convinced that there's nothing more out there for you? Koala Spirit reminds you that self-care is meant to replenish you so that you can venture out again in faith, trusting that there's no limit to the joy that Spirit wants you to experience. Be good to yourself and reconnect with Spirit to reclaim your faith in things yet unseen. So, I mean, there is a big call about Sagittarius energy and travel in general here. This could be a lack of assertion in actually exploring and communicating and stepping out of your comfort zone. But I think if you do, you will come to new avenues for money or self-love or enjoyment of life, sensual pleasures, or just new relationships as well. Let's see if there's any messages left for Gemini people and placements. Gemini messages, Gemini people and placements, Gemini energy messages. Somebody here could be having a lot secret or could be quite mysterious. Messages for Gemini. Maybe somebody's processing this in quiet or in secrecy. Gemini messages for Gemini. Okay, Gemini messages. You might have psychic powers. Gemini messages. Or somebody around you does and wants to guide you. Gemini messages. Messages for Gemini. Messages for Gemini. Gemini people and placements. They could be a teacher. They could be an old lover. Or something about them feels like familiar. Gemini. Messages for Gemini. Or they could have a mature. They never had love before. Perhaps they were like a virgin or something before you met them. But I hope that helped you. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, or hit the Buy Me Coffee link if you want to leave a tip. Thank you so much. And the more interaction, the more readings I put out. Thanks.